out, tiger. Call me out, why don't you laugh? Lift me up higher, above the clouds, won't you love?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan Elizabeth, and today we're playing a game. So I know that I have an update video on my channel right now saying there's no more gameplay happening and my channel's doing other things, which is all true. That is all true. However, this new shift in my channel is meant to reflect the things I like and the things I enjoy doing. And I do still enjoy games, so here and there we might play games on the channel. It will be very specific games when we do them, and they won't be very long Let's Plays at all, like this one. Also, excuse me if I sound awful, I'm sick. So, this game is called A Mortician's Tale, and one of the reasons we're playing this game is because, first of all, I love it. I think it is just the sweetest little game, and I want more people to play it. I think it was $6 from Itch.io. I love it, so it was totally worth whatever price I paid for it. But the other reason is that my channel's new aesthetic it's so heavily based off of A Mortician's Tale. You'll see as we play, but the whites and the purples. Yeah, so my channel has taken a very heavy aesthetic leaning towards A Mortician's Tale. So it felt kind of fitting that we play the game that kind of inspired my channel a little bit. So we're gonna play a game about death a little bit, and it'll be great. I guess a quick warning, nothing in this game is graphic, but you will see dead bodies. And it goes through the embalming process and cremation process, and it talks a lot about death. So if any of those topics are maybe sensitive for you, this might not be a great game to watch, and I would recommend clicking off. But if you have no issues with those, let's get into it. I love the soundtrack. See, look at that little purple skull that was just there. I love the art style in this game. It's really good. You can like click around to move our little character. And this is a big part of the game, is your computer. You can click all of these. So we will start down here. I like to start at the bottom. I probably won't read all of these funeral monthly letters to you guys, so I will just throw them on screen for a few seconds. So if you would like to, you can pause and read these. They're really interesting. I do recommend you read them. I just won't read them myself. Alright, so we have an email from Amy Rose. Hello, Charlie. Hope you settled in okay so far. Matthew should have dropped off your first body for you to work on. He said you were really friendly, and he's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You'll get used to his sense of humor. Your first body is Mrs. Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for a closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. The family seems a little bit more united than previous families we've dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier if that's possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Mrs. Garcia, I do think it's important to take the time to clean her body. No one is going to see her body, but I like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and their loved ones. You'll find Mrs. Garcia in the prep room. Talk soon, Amy Rose, the founder and director of Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. So this is our boss, basically. And this is Mrs. Mia Garcia's original email to Amy. Dear Amy, we're happy to be with Rose and Daughters for my mother's funeral. We understand that there are usually procedures that must be followed in these situations, but if you could kindly not embalm my mother, that would be greatly appreciated. And we will proceed with a closed casket for the service. I just know she wouldn't have wanted her death to have any negative impact on the environment. And since she fought so hard to beat her heart disease and to live healthfully, it would be a shame to have her final moments be the counter to the way she lived. Thank you, and we are happy to not embalm her, which is great. And I will click that when we're ready to get started for the day, but we're not quite ready. So let's go ahead and look at Rose and Daughters. This is the funeral home we've been employed at. About Rose and Daughters. Rose and Daughters Funeral Home was founded by my grandparents back in 1956. The Rose family has proudly served the area since then, providing personal, affordable funeral services for all. I'm proud to have carried on my family's business for the last 36 years, working with the best and brightest funeral directors and grief counselors in the area. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you've recently experienced a loss and would like us to help you through this hard time. And we offer closed casket and open casket ceremonies, cremation, direct burials, and direct cremation for various prices that you can look at. So that's Rose and Daughters. Alright. So we have an email from Jen Love. Good luck, you beautiful and smart babe, you. I guess my subject lines to you should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your reply so I can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were a thing until now. Guess it's just not something I really think that much about. I should look more into this. Learn more about your world and industry, because as I said, you are now a very serious professional. Speaking of being a professional, my museum gig is amazing. I can't believe somebody paid me to move to London, and not London, Ontario, serial killer capital of Canada, to work in a museum. Like, take that, everyone who said I couldn't get a job with an art history degree. I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent impersonation. Also, I signed you up for Funeral's monthly newsletter. Consider it your graduation gift / I love you / I'm super proud of you gift. Love you, love you, love you. Jen L., Museum Curator. London Pathology Museum. So that's Jen. We'll hear a lot from her. Alright, here's Amy again, giving us some directions, which makes sense since we just started. Hello, Charlie. Well, you're new here, so it's probably best I explain where everything is. In your office preparation room, you'll find your cremation station, cremulator station, embalming station, and obviously, since you're reading this email, your desk and computer area. I know you have experience working with these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. And then finally, our email from Matthew. We'll start with our little introductory email from Rose. Hello everyone! I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our new funeral director, Charlotte, or Charlie as she told me she likes to be referred to. Charlie is a recent graduate who came highly recommended and is eager to begin her career here with us at Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. Please take time to make Charlie feel at home within our little family. We'll have a nice catered lunch this afternoon so we can all get to know each other a little better as well. And now from Matt, finally. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name's Matthew, and I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers bodies to you and helps with some of the more heavy lifting. Ever hear that joke about a hearse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come by in a bit. Looking forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy's a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck. That is all of the stuff that we have going on right now. So let's go ahead and accept this job now. Once you accept the jobs, you are taken out of the emails and get ready to begin. And that will be our first body that we work with. So, again, really quick warning. If dead bodies make you uncomfortable, even in this graphical style, maybe leave. This is the prep room, where you'll prepare bodies for burials and viewings, I think. Because the family has requested a closed casket ceremony with no embalming, you are just going to clean the body. Okay, so we have a sponge that we will use to clean with. And we'll get to use all of those tools later. that's it, you're done. Mrs. Garcia will be sent to Mike, who'll take care of dressing and putting her in the casket. It's time to go to Mrs. Garcia's funeral. You are responsible for taking care of the deceased body, but it's also important to pay your respects to their loved ones. Follow the arrow to head to the funeral parlor. That's one of the parts of this game that I really like, is that you don't just do this back-end stuff. You also get to actually go and witness the funeral a little bit. Also, I guess I should quickly specify, since we're about to see a funeral, this is not a very complex game. It's not a huge game. When we get into this funeral, there's not going to be a ton of things to do. That's not the point of the game. So I just want to give you a warning that that this is a simple game, and its simplicity, I think, is what makes it such a good game. So, just a heads up as we move forward. So we can choose different people and groups of people to talk to. She would have hated these paintings. She was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Embalming's weird me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be building a chemical that is known to cause cancer into the ground like that. Or into the sewer. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain? At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Stop it, don't make me laugh right now. Mommy, I'm hungry, when can we go? Pretty typical kid at a funeral, yeah. I hate wearing pantyhose. My legs are so itchy, but it's always so cold in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss those sweaters she used to knit for me now. Oh. We usually don't small talk a lot at these things. At least that's what I was always taught. Alright, and now we will pay our respects to the body. And that is our first job as a funeral director. Alright, so many things. So again, not going to read these. I will just let you look at them if you would like to. Again, they're really interesting, so I do recommend reading them. Alright, more from Matthew. I love Matthew. I wish we could have actually, met him, but... So, spoiler alert, you don't get to actually meet Matthew. Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day, taking our clients on the last trip around town, and I was thinking, strange, I know. Did I ever tell you the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed. In a car accident, totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff, messed me and my friends up real good. But, so the big day, we all got into our best suits and dresses and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us, so we had at least 3 different cars full of us, like clown cars, While we're in the procession going to the cemetery, somebody in our car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out, some asshat driver who doesn't know how not to get in the way of a procession drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but can you imagine getting that call? Anyways, one of my friends in the same car as me, the one who got the phone call, hung up and started laughing. Just laughing her ass off in that way that makes you not sure if they're really just crying or if they've gone fully off the deep end. And she laughed, and then we all started giggling because, go figure, life is messed up sometimes, There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. I just remembered the story and wanted to tell you. Because we work with death all the time, and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before you get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. That decision came totally later, and is nothing unremarkable. Somebody has to do it, and I have a strong stomach, so why not? I'll see you in a bit, Charlie. Oh, we have a thank you. That's fun. Just passing this message along. Thanks for the hard work, Charlie. Let's see what Mia has to say. Hi, Amy. Please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job they did with our mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together. It was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food in. Getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being there together. It meant a lot. So what I'm saying is, it was nice for everyone to be there like that. Together in that way. And I know how much of that was due to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Thank you for making this difficult time easier for us. Well, that was sweet. Thank you, Mia. Alright, so for this last episode, we'll read our email from Jen, and then we won't look at our next job until the next episode. So, let's see what Jen has to say this time. We get a lot of emails from Jen. Why is this so long? Oh, okay. Okay, so we start here. Can I rant for just a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, anybody, male colleagues, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately, even though dress codes are such sexist BS anyway. And I hate how their misogyny gets veiled in faux concern. Jen, I'm just worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers. They're definitely not hurting me as much as your condescension is hurting my head. Ugh, sorry, I'm out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email in a little bit when I've cooled off. That was Jen's first email. Okay, so let me explain this in a bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing the tight lacer's liver specimen we have here at the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907, and the liver is tapered inwards from what the doctor leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on her corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular, and while people associate it with fainting or hysteria, it's actually been associated with visceroptosis, which is when the organs fall to the lower parts of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling, but can also be caused by being pregnant, so... Too long, didn't read. Corsets probably messed up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage. And I'm tired of the condensation about my wardrobe, which also implies I don't know what I'm doing. These are the kinds of things I specifically research, and yet I'm treated like I know nothing about. I'm having a day, Charlie. That's from Jen. Alright, lots of really positive stuff over there from Jen to end this episode off with. As I said, this game might not even mean much to most of you watching, but I love it, and I think more people should know it exists, so we're gonna be doing this for a little bit. And even though I said no gaming, there'll be a tiny, tiny bit of gaming still, just a little bit of it. So I hope you enjoyed this first episode of A Mortician's Tale. And if you did like the video, please don't forget to leave a like. If this game looks interesting to you, I recommend you go check out the link in the description and pick it up yourself to play. It's a very good little game. I think seeing it for yourself would be better anyway, so I highly recommend you pick it up. And if you want to see more of this game, see more from my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you happen to want notifications. Don't feel pressured into it. Alright, gonna end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!